Hi, I'm Becky with Embodiment Works. Thank you so much for being here today. We're going to be doing a quick 30-minute flow, all focused on the throat chakra. So, the throat chakra is connected to the element of, or non element, I guess you could say, of ether. So, it's the space in between. And this energy center is also really connected to our communication and how we talk to each other, which one of my favorite things I've ever heard is it's not the words that they say, but it's the pauses and the spaces in between the words. And you can learn a lot um, from someone's communication style when you notice where those pauses or those silences are, knowing that that's just as important as the words as well. So, trying to find that space in between and deepen the communication that we have with ourselves and with our body, we'll be focusing this flow on ways to open into the throat space. So, to get started, we'll go ahead and start like we started all the rest of our chakra series in a seated meditation. So, find that nice, comfortable seat, close down the eyes, take a big full breath in, big sighing exhale out. Two more just like that. Breathe in and breathe out. Last full inhale. Last open mouth exhale. Then seal the lips. Let the body breathe. Noticing where the breath lands in the body. Noticing where your awareness lands in your body. Allowing yourself not only to feel the outline of your shape as you sit here, but also the spaces in between. The space in between your arm bones and your trunk. The spaces in between your ears and your head. Space between your legs and your ankles. Creating a deep awareness to the physical vessel and the ether that lies around it. Allowing yourself to be grounded here in this space. And dropping that awareness right into the throat center. Maybe even giving a little swallow to feel into that part of the body. Just a few more breaths right here in the stillness. And then on that next inhale, flutter your eyes back open, make your way back into this space. And really tapping into that throat center, we're going to take some neck circles. So go ahead and drop your chin to your chest. And take your left ear to your left shoulder. And then roll it around to the back. Right ear, right shoulder. And roll it around to the front. Continuing with these revolutions. And if there's any spots where it's kind of sticky or it's kind of tight, and you want to like really hang out in that spot, feel free to do that. Continuing, we'll take about 4, maybe 5 revolutions in this direction. One more full big circle with the head. Opening and closing down the throat from the front side and the back side. Then when your chin comes to your chest, you're going to take it the opposite direction. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Roll it around to the back. I invite you to go slower than you think you can, allowing yourself to really feel all those little muscles. Help keep your head high every single day. Noticing the parts that get you a little bit more aware of your ears and your jaw. Maybe even trying this next revolution with your mouth a little bit more open. Noticing if that feels different. Got one more full big circle right here. And then bring that chin back to your chest. And then you're just going to move your chin right and left, making little half moons with the top of your head. And then slowly start to lift the head little by little with these half moons until eventually you're drawing the half moon with your nose rather than your chin. And then you'll switch and starting to draw a figure eight with your nose. Closing the eyes helps you not to get dizzy. And then switch the direction of your figure eight. Go the opposite direction. There you go. One more. And then come back up through center. Flutter those eyes back open. If you're seated up onto a bolster or block or anything, you can move that off to the side. And then we'll come onto all fours in a tabletop posture. And into your tabletop posture, we're going to immediately start to move into a cat-cow. So you'll drop your belly, lift your chest. There you go. And with that drop of your belly, you want to be able to open through your heart, through the front of your neck. Pull your shoulder blades together onto the back body, allowing the heart to be really open through the front. And then exhale, you're going to round the spine, tuck the tailbone in between your thigh bones, pressing down into the hands, pulling your chin towards your chest. Inhale, moving into that cat pose. Exhale, rounding out into that cat pose. Inhaling for your cow through your nose. Exhaling for your cat through your nose. Starting to cultivate your Ujjayi breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Starting to link the breath with the movement here. Is really awakening the spine. Got a lot of lubrication into the neck with our neck rolls, and now we're moving that down through the spinal column, into the thoracic. And even though that lumbar spine doesn't have a large range of motion, we're getting that in as we tuck and untuck that tailbone. You got about 3 more breaths. Move through this cat-cow, really undulating the spine. One more. And then bring it into a neutral tabletop. Give yourself just a moment here just to feel that looseness that you've created through the back body and through the neck. And then when you're ready, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And allow the heels to pedal down, press down into the hands, melt the chest towards the thighs. Letting the ears be in line with the arm bones. And then really allowing the top of the head to extend towards the thumbs and the hips to lift towards the sky. Got about 3 breaths right here. Just focus in. Bring the awareness inside into the body. And then on your next inhale, you bring your feet to touch the back of your mat. Inhale your right leg up into the air. Exhale, you'll bring your knee towards your nose and step it all the way forward up in between your hands. You can inch it up into position if it doesn't quite get there. Drop your back knee down to the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up into the air, Anjaneyasana. Allow the shoulders to soften down the back. Breathe in. Feel free to feel that big stretch on the front of your left hip flexor. Then we're going to take a nice open twist. You're going to bring your left arm forward and your right arm back. And then in this twist, you want to be extending through your fingertips. And the twist comes from the middle of your back. Think about pulling your shoulder blades together on your back body. And from the pulling together the shoulder blades, then open your chest over towards that right side. Take a full big breath in. Full big breath out. One more. Breathe it in and out. Exhale, gently drop your right hand onto your left thigh, or you can just sweep your arm back behind you, whatever is more comfortable in your system. And then lift that left arm to the sky. You're finding what we call a nice revolve reverse with the top half of the body. So again, pulling the crown of the head up and then sweeping that right shoulder towards the back of your space. That twist comes right in the middle of the back. Take a full inhale right here. Full exhale. On your next inhale, you're going to tuck your back toe under if it's not already. Then you're going to lift your left knee away from the mat. Spin your left heel down as you swing your left arm back and your right arm forward, coming into your nice little warrior two right here. Sink down into that warrior two. Press out through the knife edge of that back foot and sink into the four corners of your front foot. The four corners are the ball mound, the pinky mound, and the inside and outside of your heel. And then allow your hands to be nice in line with each other. Roll your shoulders down your back. Breathe. There we go. And then gently from here, you're going to come into a nice big star pose. So your toes are going to face those corners of your mat. And then on an exhale, we're going to drop into a skandasana. So you bring your hands to heart center. You're going to drop down into your left knee, bending into your left knee almost like a side lunge. Now there's a couple variations to do here. You can either drop all the way down and really sink deep into that left hip, but it's kind of early, so you may want to stay a little higher into more of what is like a side lunge, a high skanda. So you can stay in either one, whatever works for you. But wherever you are, pull that left knee over the pinky edge side. So you're getting a nice internal stretch to that inner thigh. So breathe in, breathe out. One more inhale. And on your next exhale, you're going to pivot around towards the back of your space, lifting your right heel and allowing your hands to frame that left foot. Take the left foot, step it back to meet your right. On your inhale, shift it slightly forward. And then we're going to go ahead and drop our knees right here. Exhale, lower halfway into your chaturanga. You can always float the knees for your chaturanga and then untuck your toes. Inhale your upward facing dog. And exhale your downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Two more. Breathe in. Breathe out, melting that chest towards the thighs. One more inhale. And exhale, let it go. On that next inhale, you're going to lift your left leg up into the air. Exhale, you're going to bring your knee towards your nose, step it up in between your hands. Drop your back right knee down to the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up into the air, Anjaneyasana. Beautiful. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Feeling the front of that right hip flexor this time. On that next exhale, we're going to find that open twist, right arm forward, left arm back. And again, squeeze the shoulders onto the back body and then extending through the fingertips. So even though you're pulling the shoulders together, you're still extending out. So you get that, again, that twist in the middle of your thoracic spine. Stay with your breath right here. If you're unsure what to do with your vision, I personally like to look over towards my left thumb. But if you want to stay looking forward towards your right thumb, you can. Notice what works for you. Then again, dropping that backhand onto your sacrum or your back thigh, you'll lift the right arm to the sky here. Pull your low belly up and lift your chest nice and high. Getting more extension on that right side body, more space into those small little intercostal muscles. Full inhale, full exhale. Last one. On that next inhale, make sure that back foot is, back toe is tucked underneath. You're slowly going to lift the right knee away from the mat, spin the right heel down as you swing the right arm back, and then extend the left arm forward. Sinking down into your warrior two, finding that nice big stance. Don't be afraid to take up a lot of space with your legs, bending into that French knee, stacking the shoulders over the hips. Just breathe, slow and easy. Then flip. Then standing up into your star pose, you're going to lift up, toes come to those corners of your mat. We're going to find that skandasana here to the front right side. So again, there's those options. Bring the hands to heart center. You're going to start to bend into that right knee. And again, you can stay high into more of just a traditional side lunge, or you can really sink down into the hips. And maybe if you sink down into the hips, you float the left toes up into the air. But no matter where you are, pulling that right knee back. And if you get a little too tight underneath that left leg when you're coming into this, just lift up a little higher. Allow yourself to build the strength into the quad right here. Notice what works for you. For one more full breath in. And then exhale, spin it all the way around. Low lunge to the back, planting those hands on either side of the right foot, stepping it back to meet your left. Inhale, shifting forward. You can always drop those knees if you need, or just lower halfway into your chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. One more. Breathe it in, breathe it out. We're going to go ahead and take that flow through one more time on each side. Inhale that right leg up into the air. Exhale, knee to nose, step it all the way forward. Drop that back knee down. Inhale your arms up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, open twist. Left arm forward, right arm back. On that next inhale, revolve reverse. Lift that left arm up into the air. And then tucking that back toe underneath, lift the left knee away. Spin left heel down as you swing the left arm back and extend the right arm forward. Sink into your warrior two. Staying with that breath, in and out through the nose. Inhale into your star pose, lift up nice and tall through the sides of the body. Exhale, skandasana, hands to heart center, bending into that left knee. And again, take the option that works for you, whether you're high or low with it. Notice what feels right. When you're ready, spin it around towards the original back of your mat, planting your hands, then stepping your left foot back, maybe floating it this time if you want a little more, and then lowering halfway in to your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale, big exhale. Last breath. Inhale, left leg up into the air. Exhale, knee to nose, step it all the way forward. Drop that back right knee down. Inhale, arms up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, open twist, right arm forward, left arm back, squeezing those shoulder blades together, extending the energy through your fingertips, lifting your chin nice and high, dropping that back hand onto your back thigh, lifting your right arm to the sky, revolve, reverse, squeezing the low belly up and in to find extension through the crown. And then exhale, tucking that back toe underneath. Then gently lifting that back knee away, spinning open into your warrior two. Left arm forward, right arm back. Sink into the posture. On that next inhale, stand it up into your star pose. Exhale, skandasana. Sink down into that right knee, whatever degree feels right for you today. On that next inhale, spin it around towards the original front of the mat, and then gently step it back. Inhale, shifting it forward, lowering halfway chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Full breath in, full breath out. And gently, you're going to drop down onto your knees. Walk your knees forward, closer towards the front of your mat. Cross your ankles and sit down onto your booty. All right, we're going to be moving in to another big throat opener here. So for this throat opener, I'm going to be coming into shoulder stand. So if that's something that you've played with before and you know what it is, then feel free to jump right in. Those of you who are trying this for the first time, what we're going to do is we're going to lay down onto our backs. And as you lay down onto your back, we're going to gently start to pull your knees in towards your chest. And when you're pulling your knees in towards your chest, just start to notice the energy it takes to really pull your knees up towards your shoulders. Yeah. Now, from here, what you're going to do is we're going to roll onto our shoulders and catch our sacrum with our hands. So for that, you roll back and you catch your sacrum, bringing your hands back behind. And when you bring your hands back behind, you want to walk those elbows in so you have a nice firm little shelf to help you hold it up. And then from here, you'll start to gently extend your legs up into the air. Now your legs may be kind of all over the place, so squeeze the muscles to the bone, start to make them as straight as you can. Now they will hinge slightly over your face to kind of counterbalance you here, and that's perfect. So once you have that, you start to lift the feet up taller, and as you lift the feet up taller, you may be able to walk the hands in a little bit tighter, so they go from your sacrum to maybe your mid back. And then from there, you'll find your nice big shoulder stand. And the important part here is to keep your throat nice and open. And then we're just going to be here hanging out, just breathing. That's all you got to do. You can point your toes, you can flex your feet, whatever feels better. Pointing my toes is always my favorite here. Allowing all of the blood from our feet to drop down into the heart and throat. Just breathing. Closing your eyes if that feels okay. Got about 3 more breaths right here. Last one, breathe in and breathe out. Now from here, we're slowly going to hinge at the hips. As you're hinging at the hips, you're going to lower the feet down towards the mat. Now, they may never touch down onto the mat, and that's perfectly okay. But if they do, your hips sometimes come a little bit more over your shoulders, and your toes will touch onto the ground. Now, when your legs are straight like this, you're in what we call plow pose. So you can keep your hands here if you need that brace on your low back, or you can extend your hands out. Notice which variation works for you. Again, keeping that throat nice and open. Softening the shoulders against the mat. Now you're welcome to stay here, or if you want to add on a little bit more and you feel like you have the availability, you can start to bend the knees, bring them on either side of your head, and then squeeze your knees in around your ears. This is called deaf man's pose. Again, just a couple more breaths, either here in deaf man's or back in plow, or maybe you extend back up into shoulder stand. Notice which one works for you. And then when you're ready, slowly and gently, you're going to roll back onto your back. Slowly lowering the hips, one vertebrae at a time. I like to bring my hands behind my legs and then slowly letting the hips come down onto the mat, and then letting the legs just come up into our basic little waterfall pose, which is always a great modification for shoulder stand if that's not right for you. Just 2 more breaths right here. And then gently, when you're ready, you'll slowly lower one leg down and the other leg down. Then bring the hands on either side of your hips, palms facing up. Take a big full breath in. Lift that chin. Keep the throat nice and open. Exhale, let it go. Then just soften in. Let the toes fall out left and right. We'll be here for about a minute. I'll pull you out when it's time. But allow yourself to release the hard work and to sink into your rest. Gently, when you're ready, allow yourself to wiggle your fingers and your toes, and then sweep your arms up over your head. Pointing your toes, take a long full body stretch. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Then you'll roll on to your left side using your left arm as a pillow. And take a moment here to come back to that connection to the throat. You have those nice big throat opening postures at the end of our practice. Getting a deeper connection to our communication center, how we communicate with ourselves. It's our first indication of how we communicate with others. On that next inhale, lift yourself up, coming into a nice seat just like we began. We'll take a final breath together. So bring your hands to heart center. Find that nice tall spine. Inhale through your nose. Big sighing exhale through your mouth. Put your hands to your third eye, the space between your brows. The light, the dark, and the love in me. Honor and bow to the light, the dark, and the love in you. Together we bow forward. And if you feel so inclined, you can sit. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. Feel free to drop any comments or questions that you have. I'd love to hear from you. And again, I'm Becky with Embodiment Works. Have a great day.